All right, so this podcast episode, a little more unconventional maybe. We're going to call it, I don't know, podcast episode 20.5 or something. Like the transfer deadline just finished last week. We'll get into that a little bit. Not much EPL action to talk about. There's a couple of games that were played today on the Tuesday, February 8th, that we'll talk about. But, the bulk of the schedule will resume, I think, tomorrow and Thursday. There's a mix of games. So when we come back at you guys on Sunday, we'll do a more deep dive into what it is with the English Premier League. But on this episode, we're just gonna call it the STS. Is it shit to say or shoot the shit episode? We're just having fun. We're just riffing tonight on a Tuesday night.
Yeah,
Santo wanted to get into something real quick, he said.
Well, we can kind of get into that later as it happens naturally. I think it's just really funny what came up. But
build the suspense.
Yeah, build the suspense. It's probably going to be a letdown now. No, I mean, yeah, not a lot of games happen, but games with some pretty big implications, especially with Newcastle Everton. Really pumped to see Newcastle finally make it out of the relegation zone. With a 3-1 win over Everton. It's massive for them. I mean, you could just see it in the fans and the players. Every goal they scored was huge. I mean, coming from behind as well after going 1-0 down. It's just massive. It was awesome to see. Obviously, we've talked about it a lot where we want them to stay up. So it was for different reasons. For different reasons. I want to see you get a Newcastle jersey, and I want to just see them in the Premier League. But yeah, it was awesome. And I mean, I don't think I've heard Newcastle cheer that loud all season.
Yeah, that crowd was raucous.
Yeah.
That crowd was just we said it before. It's always better when the big teams are in it. And Newcastle, we wouldn't consider a big team with what they've done recently, but they're still one of the biggest, supported clubs, especially in that region of the country, being as far northeast as they are. I mean, it's just basically them and Sunderland, and we know what's happening with Sunderland. Last couple of seasons and their relegation. Yeah, they're dropping. So, I mean, for them to be the biggest club in the area, I mean, they've always been the biggest club in the area, I would say, but man, that was cool. That was cool to see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't a game against, Watford or like a Burnley or something, which we'll get into later with Burnley, but it was Everton. What is happening with Everton?
Everton
now I'm worried about Everton getting relegated.
Yeah. Yeah, the YouTubers is going to be pissed again.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Sorry, Wizard. I mean, whatever. Yeah. It's not our fault. Don't curse us. Since he started working with us, Everton's been slipping.
Yeah, actually. But no, I mean,
first off, speaking of YouTube, if you guys, watching the video right now, please like it, subscribe to the channel. We checked out the numbers earlier. About 75% of viewership are not following the Footy Fans podcast. So please, if you guys want to smash that like, right, Joe?
Smash that like, hit that subscribe button, bell for notifications.
Boom, get it. That'd be great for us. Yeah. Everton, though, man. What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, Frank Lampard at the helm made a big signing with Dele Alli, who, to be fair, has been out of form for a little while. But then, I mean, it's just... more of the same. I guess, Frank Lampard just got there, so he needs some time, but getting awfully close. I mean, they're just ahead of Newcastle now, just outside the relegation zone. So that would be disastrous, to say the least, if they were to get relegated. I don't think they will. I think Norwich, Watford, and Burnley probably going to be the three that go down, but, we've seen crazier things happen towards the end of the season.
Watford, one of the first sides that I've seen in a long time that sacked two managers in the same season.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who actually. I'm slipping my mind who actually was the manager to start the year, but Ranieri just let go about a week ago before the international break. What do they do now? How do you save the team now? What third manager can save this team?
Yeah.
Who did they mean? Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson.
I think Hodge. Yeah, I think Hodge is back, and I think Steve Bruce took the West Brom job actually in League Two, I think. So some managers that were fired early in the season are getting some callbacks. Hodgson obviously last appointed at Crystal Palace last season before Patrick Vieira came in. He did a good job with Palace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he did as good as a job you would expect.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't. I don't think he necessarily was fired from the team. I think it was kind of like a mutual thing. He's old. He's an old man. He doesn't want to keep going through the everyday grind, right, of being a manager all the time. And I'm sure they wanted some new blood with Vieira to come into the side too. But to try and like get in to save Watford, I mean, that's a tough task to ask for an older manager, I think. But if anyone can do it, could be Hodgson. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not banking on much.
I'm sure he's done it before. He's been around the block. If you want anyone he's obviously not going to like do anything crazy, but just might save him from relegation, which I'm sure he's done before.
Mm-hmm.
So someone to really just steady the ship, use all this experience.
Gotta get Big Sam back in the game.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's doing now. Let's see if is he employed? Is he a free agent?
He's just like always around. I think he took some time. I think he's just chilling.
Just see what he's doing now. Quick Wikipedia search. West Bromwich Albion was his last appointed side, and that was in 2021. So he did a 1-year stint at West Brom. But he's got like the most mid-tier teams managed list of all time. Like you got Newcastle, Blackburn, West Ham, Sunderland, Crystal Palace, Everton, West Brom. Like just the most 9th to 17th place teams of all time. Or even in the bottom 20 or the bottom 3 to get relegated. But I mean, he had a good career too. He played 479 matches in total in his senior career, spread out between multiple divisions. It looks like and multiple teams in England. Played for Tampa Bay Rowdies. Came to Tampa Bay in 1983. Played for Tampa Bay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Defender, 6'3" defender, just gritty.
Yeah,
the grit.
32 goals. Not bad.
Sounds like someone you should get at this point.
Yeah, if you guys want to dig into that one right now.
With
dropping out of the top 4, not for the first time this season, but 5th place, Man United. I mean, they've played 23 matches too. Everyone behind them has played at least 21 or 20. So I mean, with 2 games ahead, with competition only, 4 to 5 points away, that number 5 spot isn't safe. I'm sure there'll be a ton of makeup games coming up. I mean, Tottenham, for example, is in 7th place and they're only 3 points back, and they played 3 less games than United.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be crazy to see how we talked about it before. It's gonna be crazy to see how they mix the schedule together to compile these matches that have been missed because of COVID protocols and COVID restrictions. It's gonna be wild. Like I don't know how they're gonna condense these games because it almost teams that are obviously 3 or 4 games behind have the small advantage of being able to make up those games if they still are close on points. But at the same time, it also might hurt them because they'll be condensed matches and they might not be as fit as they wanted to be because now they're playing 3 games in 9 days or something instead of 2 games in 5 or whatever. So, I mean, like Tottenham, for example, they made some moves in the transfer market, getting Kulusevski and Betancourt from Juve, which is, I mean, pretty sweet deals for them, I think.
Yep.
But we'll see how Antonio Conte can to mix them in the squad. But yeah, they got 3 games on United with only 3 points back. So, like I said, that top 5, top 4 for United in Europe right now is not safe. And I mean, coming off an international break and coming off a loss in the FA Cup, the way they did in the penalty shootout, the one side that you probably want to play after that would be Burnley.
Yeah.
And that shows up on the schedule for them. Stars align. They get their Burnley match, and they come with a 1-1 draw.
Now, yeah, you lose to Middlesbrough in a penalty shootout in the FA Cup, and then lose to the bottom table club in the Premier League.
They drew against Burnley.
Or drew against them,
which is almost a loss.
It is.
Well, no, it's funny. Obviously, like watching everything that happened and seeing it's a draw, it still feels like I have to say that they lost.
It's a lost opportunity. It's for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's asking for just that doubt to creep back in. Do you still think Rangnick obviously needs more time? But Man U as far as I've seen, probably it's the most impatient fans I've ever seen in the EPL. So
Yeah.
they're going to want results super fast because this is unacceptable from Man U's standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Does that hurt them though? Sorry, does that hurt them that
What?
they expect to be good all the time?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, to be fair, you would expect to beat Burnley.
Right.
You would expect to beat Middlesbrough, but it's I do think they have way too high of expectations for how well they should succeed every season.
Mm-hmm.
But with that mentality, who do you think that hurts the most, the manager or the players? Do you think it hurts the manager for the expectations of, getting results, or do you think it hurts the players based on the performance and the criticism they get from the fans?
Honestly, I think it's just like a massive wheel of disaster. Manchester United. Well, thank you.
Say what you think, Santi.
Well, no, I just mean it's like from a mindset perspective, it's just setting them up for failure because I think the quality in their side is there. I just don't think the performances are happening for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think ownership is ever giving any manager enough time. I don't think the fans are giving manager enough time. I don't think they're bringing in some key players in key positions that are going to make them succeed. And like we've talked about in the past, they just want massive signings that are going to sell jerseys and whatnot. I don't know. It's just weird. And I think the manager is probably in the worst position at Man United every time they bring someone in. So I personally think it probably comes down to an ownership change and kind of just a rebuilding of the infrastructure that's there. Cause right now it's really not working. I mean, it's when you have fans protesting, it's kind of a recipe, for disaster.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like this for a while, and I think they're gonna have this issue until they can find a manager that's dealt with this kind of situation before. Ragnar's obviously good, but I think even Zlatan came out and he said how people see Man U as a big club, but then he went there and it was just like not what he was expecting. So I think until they can get someone that can just elevate the team regardless of what's going on behind the scenes, they're gonna struggle a lot to start getting results. I mean, to be honest, Chelsea was in that kind of position a little while ago. Like they still kind of are managers going in and out. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with Tuchel. I know he has been dropping some points, but right when he came in, it never felt like he was lacking any confidence. So I think if Man U wants to get out of the gutter, they're going to have to find like a very, very high profile person that can like manage a team and not be distracted by what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and like when Tuchel came in, it's almost like he couldn't do any worse than what was already happening.
Yeah.
So he had that leeway a little bit. It's okay. It's like as long as you don't do worse than what Lampard has done the first half of the season, then like you're okay. You can stick around. And clearly he blew that expectation out of the water with first staying afloat and staying in the top four and winning Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Which when you had Lampard at the helm, those two things were dwindling. Like big time. I think they might have been in sixth place. If not, they were at least fifth, but a few points back of being safe. I can't exactly remember now. But there was Champions League was so far in my mind. Not because Lampard was doing such a poor job, just because I didn't think the Chelsea side that we had was good enough in general. Like it wasn't like, oh wow, Lampard's our manager. We're gonna be really bad. We're not gonna win Champions League. There's no way. I just don't think the side was good enough.
Yeah,
with the talent we had at the time, but in Chelsea's defense, we did get a kind of a lucky draw going against the likes of Porto and Atletico Madrid instead of the big boys like Real Madrid or PSG or Bayern Munich. And then obviously we faced probably the most competitive team in the tournament in Man City. So, and again, all you need is a 1-0 victory on any given Sunday, right? Or whenever the game was. Right. Anybody can score a goal. So just in Tuchel's defense, like he did a really good job, obviously, and he's earned his place to be there now. But it was like, okay, as long as you can come in and just don't go to like 8th place, you'll probably be okay. Now with Lampard going to Everton, like we said, he had those signings with Dele Alli, Who else did he bring in? I got the list here.
Van de Beek's there on loan.
Van de Beek. That
Right.
okay.
Mhm.
So I texted you guys on transfer deadline day, and I said I don't hate this when
Yeah.
it came to Dele Alli and Van de Beek going there.
Yeah.
I think those are great signings.
Oh yeah.
Like I think those are fantastic because it's two players that have been in and out of the side. Dele Alli obviously proving more at Tottenham than Van de Beek did at United, but obviously having just a couple setbacks in
Mhm.
what he's done the last couple of seasons. Yeah, he's had some injuries, but also his performance has dipped. And even when he was healthy, he wasn't being picked by Pochettino or Nuno or Antonio Conte in the starting role. So
Mhm.
even in the match today, he came in the first half because Demarai Gray was injured. So Lampard took him off the bench and put him right into the side. And
Mhm.
I mean, I want to say he did really well and he proved a positive result for Everton, but again, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Newcastle, man, they just stole the show. We said off the top from the beginning how crazy that was. But just to the transfers, yeah, I think Van de Beek and Dele Alli will be great players for Everton because they'll have a chance to actually show up and play.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's no way they have too much quality in themselves. They should not be playing.
I think
Yeah.
Van de Beek should have been playing at Man U. I don't know how.
Oh, I agree. I
don't know how he's on loan away from Man U to Everton right now. I mean, it's great for Everton.
Yeah. I can't believe Fred still gets the minutes he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
how is this happening?
it's very. I think he just never really got a chance to get into the side and show what he was about. I mean, and this goes back to, I know it's kind of harsh to like rip on Ole, but Sancho, Van de Beek just not getting in the side, and you spend all this money on them. I don't know whose decision it was, but and I'm not sure what went on behind the scenes, but to not give those kind of players a chance, and then I'm not sure what Ragnarsson saw, but obviously he didn't feel Van de Beek had a future at Man U, so obviously sent him on loan, but. Yeah, it's a very strange situation. He's one of those players, like it could be a De Bruyne situation where he's just not getting the minutes, and then he's going to go to a club that's going to actually get the best out of him, and he's going to come back and be like a just really great box-to-box midfielder. I could see that happening with Van de Beek, and it would just be frustrating to see. And, to be honest, that's a major red flag, even for Chelsea. If you're consistently not, getting these players on the field and, getting the best out of them, and they come back and bite you in the butt because they went somewhere else and got developed, that you really have to look at your internal organization, be like, why are we not getting the best out of these players?
And there's been so many times when a player who just is a standout for their club and like they're by far the best player of their team gets picked, like you said, and then placed on a team like Real Madrid or Man United or Bayern Munich, and they just sit there and don't play. And it's just, it kills their development. It kills like the player that they are. Like Van de Beek was by far the best player on Ajax when he was there.
Yeah.
And was it Ajax? Yeah, Ajax. And like I don't think he was a captain, but he was like captain material. Like I feel like he did get a few caps as the skipper for Ajax. But like he was part of the reason why they made it so far in Champions League when they did.
Yeah.
And then he just gets plucked by United and I'll go sit on the bench.
Yeah.
It's like one season ago, I was like the key part of my team, and I was like such a crucial aspect of it. And now I'm riding the bench at a club like United, which is obviously a huge like pedigree club. But you want to play,
Yeah.
You want to play. So I think again, letting him go from United's perspective, I guess they're not losing much because he was averaging, 2 minutes a game when he actually was making his appearances. That's not accurate, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. He's barely playing, so I mean they're not gonna miss him, but necessarily. But I was just looking at the transfer deadline deals. The only two clubs out of the top 5 that did anything were Liverpool and Man City, bringing in 2 players, 2 attacking players. Let's see, Man City got
that 22-year-old.
He was highly touted. Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
From River Plate, and then Liverpool scooped up Luis Diaz from Porto, another highly touted player.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as far as the other clubs in the top 5, Chelsea, United, Arsenal, they only let players out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a wise decision?
I'm not totally sure how I feel about it at this point. I mean, it's one of those things we'll have to see how it unfolds. I mean, you can't doubt what's happening at Arsenal right now and everything Arteta's done, right? I don't know. I think it's one of those like wait and see situations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, oddly enough, there's not been too much like madness, I guess you would say, in this transfer window.
No.
Not like other ones, but yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, I'm surprised, but also not surprised that Man City didn't do too much. We keep saying we said for how long that they needed a striker, and then they sell Ferran Torres, and then just also don't have a striker yet. But
is this guy a midfielder that they picked up?
No, he's a striker.
He's a striker.
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez. I don't know if it's Julian or Julian. I don't know.
Julian. He's a striker.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not like a Haaland striker. I mean,
no,
he's not.
Yeah, I'll just get him
like a
22-year-old forward, played on River Plate, scored 23 goals in 57 appearances in 4 seasons. I mean, he's a young kid, 22.
Yeah.
I'm sure Pep will have his way with him and develop him to just another winged forward hybrid.
I'm still waiting for the day where
5'7" though.
Yeah,
that's a 5'5". The last time I saw a 5'7" Argentinian, he was wearing number 10, and his name was Kun Aguero or Messi, whichever one.
Yeah, or Messi. Yeah, I was gonna say,
are you talking about Aguero or Messi?
It was one of those.
Well, I was looking more for like a Man City aspect of it.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like they're both 5'7".
Yeah.
No, I mean, maybe this guy's the next coming.
Yeah, I was. I mean, not totally surprised, but the massive teams didn't make like a huge splash in this transfer window. I think maybe, kind of similar to what I said, a lot of them maybe feel like they don't need to, except maybe for Chelsea, because of how they're slipping.
So. Yeah.
I think, with Arsenal, I think just how they're doing so well, I don't see them needing to change anything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They did obviously the massive clear out of, tons of people on loan everywhere, just, junior players getting some development.
Aubameyang.
Yeah, Aubameyang. But
Aubameyang leaving to Barcelona.
He had his issues, I think, and obviously, they're doing, I think reasonably okay without him.
Mm-hmm. You could tell he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, so it's like, like Joe said a million times, like if he wants to leave, you have to let him leave. I think Arsenal's, for me, is going to be the team that's going to just break into the top 4. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be exciting. Close out the season, see who gets that top 4 spot and who stays up.
Yeah, banking on Arsenal. I want Arsenal to do it just for the glory days' sake, to be honest.
Just for the memes.
Seriously though.
I mean, we talked about it before, how at the beginning of the season it was like a 3-horse race, and then Man City obviously pulled away. And then we talked about how the relegation battle, how like Newcastle, Watford, and Norwich are kind of always hanging around there. Everton getting in the mix now. But then we're really starting to now see like a mid-table battle, like for the ages. Because like we said, with Man U being in 5th place and only having a cushion of 5 or 6 points from 11th place, that just brings like everyone into the mix. And I mean, a side like Everton obviously had to make big splashes and big moves. A side like Newcastle had to make a big splash and big move to try and stay out of relegation. And then you had like the minor clubs like Aston Villa picking up Coutinho and Callum Chambers from Arsenal. What's his name? Luis Suarez things kind of fell through, but those rumor talks were hanging around for a while. And then you get Brentford making probably one of like the most heartwarming signings that we've ever seen, with Christian Eriksen making his return to the EPL. Obviously he had the long stint with Tottenham, and then made his way to Italy to join Inter Milan and ended up winning the Scudetto there last season. And then unfortunately, like we saw in the European Cup early this season, in 2021, unfortunately, what happened to him collapsing on the pitch and going to cardiac arrest on the field, and the scares that were coming around the world. I mean, people that weren't even soccer fans that were tuning in, showing the support for just a fellow athlete. There was NBA players, NFL players. Lewis Hamilton reached out and said some kind words and everything, and then he started his road to recovery back in Milan a few months ago, and they were watching him, monitoring him, doing all his physical tests and studies, and he got the green light. And Brentford, of all sides, what? How does that happen? How do you go from being from Tottenham and then going to Inter, being the best player that Denmark has seen in a long, long time, and then join Brentford? How is that the only one club that reached out to sign him?
Yeah,
that's wild.
Well,
maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't. But I think he wanted to get back to England, and maybe that was the only English side that reached out.
Yeah,
it's Christian Eriksen.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, he was he was in Italy, and obviously had to take all his medical tests after being in Italy, even though with the rules in the Serie A you can't play with a pacemaker. He was also training with I think the youth at Ajax, getting match fitness back. But then Thomas Frank, actually, manager, for anyone who doesn't know, manager of Brentford, coached Eriksen when he was on the U16 Denmark team.
Okay, see, didn't know that.
Yeah, so maybe there was some conversations there to get him back. But yeah, I think he just maybe wanted to get back to England. Interestingly enough, Thomas Frank said, if there's one thing for sure, Eriksen will not be playing against Manchester City tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he came out and said. I mean, they even said
it's a
how
tough
obviously,
match.
obviously, the signing process or the transfer process was much longer with Eriksen than anyone else, just because of all the complications he had, and obviously not playing competitively for several months. I think he said he's going to get some exhibition matches first under his belt, and then get back to competitive play as his match fitness actually gets back to what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's no way. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when you sent me that text, it was made my day just to see him back in a jersey.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. Yeah. I remember seeing that live. It was terrifying. Just,
Yeah. And it was obviously, I think we all around the table here, I think we can all say that was not handled the best way by the media coverage, having, the camera basically fixated on him on the ground for as long as it was. It's kind of sickening. But I think it was, they just had the UEFA or the FIFA awards took place recently, and I'm pretty sure there was an award given out. It wasn't a humanitarian award. It was a good sportsmanship award or something that was given out, and I think they handed it out to the entire Danish squad or something. Just for what they did to rally around him and obviously protect him and his dignity and protect his personal well-being for what was happening. Yeah, because how they huddled around to try and block the camera views. There's some pretty crazy images coming out from that moment. Yeah, it kind of set the stage for Denmark to do as well as they did. I think they made a quarterfinal, got knocked out by England, or was it semifinal?
Semifinal.
Yeah, semifinal against England, right?
Sure. Wait. Yeah. Who did England play in the? Yeah, no, it was semifinal.
It was semifinal. Yeah. So they took that motivation again. It's. I don't want to say that they got to the semifinal because of what happened, because that makes it sound like it's a negative thing. But they just took what they could to rally and to use as motivation, right? To push forward and made it to a European semifinal.
Yeah, just
crazy story.
Yeah, really crazy story. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to come back against Man City.
No, that's no need to rush him back at this point.
No,
I don't think they're looking a lot to get from the game, so might as well just keep him on the bench.
Yeah,
not even put him on the bench.
It would be. Yeah, it is what it is. I would a reception would be awesome at the Etihad, but it is what it is.
Let's see if they play. Let's see if Brentford plays Tottenham coming up. Oh. Where is it? Oh, I just lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I'm all over the place now. Okay, here we go. Brentford. They play Tottenham. It's at home it's at home for Brentford. It'd be cool to have him go back to, Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
And they make a big entrance there. But wherever he goes, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a standing ovation at every pitch he goes to for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
Again, just get what happened aside, just the talent that he has, and hopefully he can still show and possess. I was talking about him last year as like a world class, like top 10 player, just because what he can do on the pitch, and how he can elevate the play, and just kind of starts. He's almost like a De Bruyne-ish player for me.
Yeah,
where he just had that creative skill and ability, and there's a time where it's like you had De Bruyne and David Silva and Eriksen as like the three players you want picking a pass.
Yeah,
bar none, like worldwide, not just in the Premier League. So for him to come back to the English game, allow us to get more coverage of him and watch him play.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have big expectations for what he can do at Brentford, but like I said, just to have him back in the side and being able to watch is a blessing for us footy fans.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the rules work with international competition. I don't know if you can play for Denmark anymore.
Why wouldn't he? Because of what happened?
Well, no, because of the pacemaker. I don't know if that's a rule on the international stage as well. Because obviously in Italy it's a rule you can't play in Serie A if you have one. Obviously in the EPL you can play if you have one. I don't know.
If he's fit to play, he's fit to play. That's how I see it.
Yeah, well, go tell that to Inter.
No, I know, I get that. But I've heard other podcasts and the other sports say, like hockey guys are like pretty gritty, obviously, and they'll say if you're injured, but you sign up and you're on the game sheet to start the game, then you're 100%. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you might feel a little bit sore here and there, but if you're on the game sheet, you're playing, you're 100% for the game then. Like, you can't use that as like a hindrance against you. So I think if he's on the game sheet for Brentford, if he's starting games in the EPL, obviously, like you said, if it's a protocol thing, then whatever. But his fitness shouldn't be in question if he's playing 90 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like just a red tape thing. It's like, you're still really good, and obviously you're match fit, but you have a pacemaker, so you can't play at the World Cup. Yeah,
it's like, well, I'd be dead if I wasn't wearing this thing. So
let
me play. Like, do you want me to play? No, I'm going to play. Like, I don't know. I'm sure Denmark would push to have him in the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if they could have him, they would love it, right?
He's our age, man. He's my age. He's got a birthday on Valentine's Day. He's turning 30. 30 years old. Pacemaker.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They might need him. If they play against Canada.
Hey. Hey. Segue of the year so far, Santi.
Yeah. Yeah, but jokes aside, they probably don't need Eriksen if they play against. No disrespect to Canada, but
hey, man. I just saw Atiba Hutchison come out, captain for Canada, said that we're not scared to play anybody.
Well, yeah, like, you cannot be scared.
Yeah, you cannot be scared. But
well, I'm saying, like, I get we're rolling. Canada, for everyone who doesn't know, Canada won their match against El Salvador last week. I believe it was the 31st, February 1st, whatever it was. We talked about the previous episode saying how I was hyping up the Wednesday match, saying if they win this game, they're in. If they win this game, they're in. It was if they win the game plus this, that, and the other.
Everyone else loses.
Then they would be in.
Yeah.
But that all being said, their next match, I believe, against Panama in March 24th.
I think it's Costa Rica.
It's Costa Rica? Okay,
yeah.
Costa Rica, March 24th. I believe that's the date. That's a win and you're in. That's got to be a win and you're in. There's not enough games left.
I think it is, because then they'll be then they have 2 games after that, and they'll be 8 points clear of Panama. So
yeah,
I believe. I'm not sure. I don't know. The actuarial scientists can back me up on.
We need a scientist to figure this out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're in. They'll be 8 points clear. 2 games left.
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it will be a guaranteed win and you're in.
Mhm.
Let's double check the date here, just so we know.
Yeah, I
Why is it
believe
2021?
March.
You guys talk among yourselves right now. I'm doing a deep dive.
And Andrew's doing a deep dive on the calendar for CONCACAF.
This isn't the greatest website, by the way, for trying to figure this out. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
Match will be. Oh, so the dates are unconfirmed. I saw somewhere it was March 24th, but the time was not confirmed.
Yeah.
But the match is against Costa Rica, and then they have a game against Jamaica, and then Panama is the last match of their qualifying schedule. So that would probably be, I don't know if they're going to mix in 3 matches in one international break. That might be a little bit too condensed. But I mean, the schedules have not come out yet of when they're going to do everything, because it's obviously it's always day by day kind of thing, how it's going to go. But the game, at least for Costa Rica, will be played sometime in March. And man, we could seal it right there.
Yeah, we got here March 24th against Costa Rica, March 27th against Jamaica, and then March 30th against Panama.
Where'd you find that? I'm on the legit CONCACAF.com website.
Dude, just use Google.
I did. I Googled CONCACAF games.
And then just go to like the table that's right there on Google.
Man.
Dude, Google knows that. I was watching listening to Joe Rogan podcast, and this Google guy talking, just saying how like Google pretty much like owns the world.
Yeah.
Fun fact for everyone. And shout out again to Stumpy for sending me the podcast.
Stumpy, avid listener. What's up, my man?
Yeah. This guy's talking about how apparently, allegedly, I didn't actually look into this, and I want to, but allegedly, on a Saturday morning, Google, which this guy thinks was just like some hackers, not hackers at Google, but like developers at Google that can just like do some crazy stuff on the web, shut down the entire internet for, I want to say it was either like 10 minutes or an hour. I forget. But they like the entire internet. Yeah, but the entire internet, like no one could access the internet. I think it might have been like 10 minutes or so. But yeah, for a period of time, they shut down the entire internet. And Joe Rogan was baffled. He was like, oh, how could they possibly like do that? Like, what about like different browsers like with Apple? And this guy was breaking down how I think 95+% of all internet activity has some form of how it has to go through Google. So like even if you're on a Safari browser and you're, you know, doing something on the internet and like accessing a website, they have to go through, I think, a Google, I think it's something where it has to check the website security. So even though it's on a separate browser, and I think same with Firefox, it's going through Google for some sort of check. So Google is kind of like a gatekeeper for 95+% of the internet.
Not surprised.
Fun fact. Yeah.
Yeah, they got their hand in everything, so it doesn't surprise me that they have those abilities. But for an hour?
Might have been less, but still. And you know why they did it? They did it because it's the only time that no activity was happening on the stock market exchange. So there was no like monetary loss to like any stock activity.
So if I tried to do like a money transfer or something, or wired like if I try to pay you $100 and that hour just wouldn't go through,
you wouldn't be able to access like your bank sending you a transfer.
But that's like, this is a worldwide internet shutdown.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. Okay.
There's a lot of unknown out there, man. I mean, I can get into a whole deep dive of Rogan podcasts, non-conspiracy theory related. Just the conversations and topics I've heard from other people talk on his show.
No, just there's tons of stuff you don't like know about. On a lighter note, like this thing, which I wanted to get into. And
another segue.
Before I say this, massive disclaimer: we don't discriminate against any sexual orientation, whatever. But this was,
All right.
and this was just funny, not
This
because
is
of
this
what
is where.
it is.
Sorry, by the way, whatever timestamp this is going to be, this is where the shoot the shit comes in.
Yeah,
This is the STS portion of the podcast.
Put the STS at the 42-minute mark ish.
All right, we'll get it.
But no, so I was looking at just like days for the major sporting events just to see the Champions League final and when the World Cup starts in Qatar. So it was this November, actually.
November? Sorry.
November? Pretty sure November.
It's in winter.
Yeah. But no, I came across this thing where it's just this long list of like every sporting event that's like an international recognized. And there was a lot more than I thought, right? Then I came across this one called the Gay Games. Right?
All right.
But what I found so funny was just how they described it. All right, listen to this. The Gay Games are held every 4 years. Despite its name, the Gay Games is open to all who wish to participate without regard to sexual orientation. So I'm like, all right, cool. Listen to this. Also, there are no qualifying standards. So it's really open to anyone who wants to go. So either this is like a complete joke or this is actually a thing, which I don't know how, because it's held in
anyone
Hong
can
Kong.
go ever.
So apparently, if you could get a ticket to Hong Kong, you can go and compete in these.
Hong Kong is hosting this?
Yeah. And it said there was like 30 something games in it.
Okay, well, so what are some of the categories of games?
I'm trying to get back to the.
By the way, talk about Google. If you Google search gay games, you better watch out where you click on.
Yeah. But no, I just thought it was. I have to see if it's actually legit because there's no. But I mean, it's on that list. So.
So if the three of us go and represent Canada and then we win, what do we win?
There's no way you can actually just go. There has to be. Well, no, it's on Wikipedia.
You just said you can just go. We just show up.
Yeah. So it's
like
organized. It's organized by the LGBT community. I think obviously they just allow anyone to go.
What are the games? You had my time. Now you have my attention.
Yeah.
What are the games that are involved? Is it like, what are you playing? You playing rugby? You playing hockey? You playing soccer? You throwing darts?
I'm looking.
Equestrian?
I think
polo?
probably something along those lines. Does it? I thought it would.
Watch this be like more like drinking games, like you like play tic-tac-toe or Jenga or something, or Catan.
Drinking games, tic-tac-toe.
I don't know. Like little mediocre like Friday night your buddy's game at your buddy's house games.
All right, so yeah, it says 36 disciplines of sport and cultural events throughout Hong Kong, but it doesn't say what they are. But it says disciplines of sport. So
We need more of a deep dive into this. We need more. Okay,
more information.
I'll do my diligence now. Okay.
But no, it is definitely a thing.
They have a homepage.
I just don't understand how there's no qualifications to go. Like, what if just everyone goes?
And they go, I guess.
Yeah, it's like how
they better account for that.
Everyone goes. I mean, they'd probably have limited.
How could you know? I just found it in 1 second of like what the games were.
I don't know. You're better at Googling than I am.
Apparently, they have I typed in gay games Hong Kong and I got their website and then it says sports.
Oh, I didn't want to click on their actual website. I was trying to find it on Wikipedia.
Oh,
I saw the website. I didn't want to.
Why?
I don't know.
You want to get their browser information?
No, it's just I wanted to find out if it was.
Santo?
I wanted to find out if it was legit first.
So they have
Wikipedia, obviously.
All right, so what they have here, it's a bunch of different categories. They have aquatics with swimming, diving. They have one called swimming/pink flamingo. I'm not sure what that is. Then they have their athletics with marathons, half marathon, track and field, ball games. Mind you, it's the gay games, so. Basketball, dodgeball, football, soccer, rugby, softball, volleyball. They have cheerleading. They have bowling. They have esports, figure skating and golf, fencing, bodybuilding, powerlifting, badminton, squash, table tennis, dragon boat racing, and rowing. So it's a full assortment of games. That's a pretty solid schedule.
Games.
What could we do here?
Probably none of it.
See this? You can't click on the tags of what the games are. I mean, I'd go there for I tried soccer. I tried soccer or dodgeball or something.
Yeah, it says
Dance
everyone is welcome to participate regardless of ethnicity, religion, age, sexual orientation, gender identity, ability, or background. Minimum age to participate is 18. Spirit of equality at the games is the principle of inclusion. So yeah, it's just really a thing that anyone can go to and participate in any game they want to participate in.
You can register like right here. I'm on like the registration page. It's like right here, ready to go.
We're gonna go.
I mean,
well, you have to be able to go to. If we can get to Hong Kong,
if we can just go to Hong Kong right now.
If we can find like 8 other guys and just put a footy team together,
represent Canada.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Is it international? Like, is it a country thing or is it like an individual thing? Like, do you like if you're playing as like a soccer team or something?
Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah,
I'm gonna find like a past champions page or something.
Past champions.
Well, I mean, I don't know, like
past champions. No, I mean, I think having.
How did you find this, by the way?
When I was looking for the dates for the Champions League final and the World Cup, it had a long list of every major sporting event happening. So I was just looking through it and seeing, like when the Rugby World Cup was, French Open, Masters, obviously I put in my calendar.
This is the 11th gay games. The first ever gay games was in 1982.
There you go. Okay.
Vancouver hosted a gay games in 1990.
We're behind the
what is this?
Missing the party.
Okay, so wow. All right. Gay games last time was in Paris. It was the 10th installment of the gay games. It's a good topic. Toronto tried to host. They were a bid city, but they lost out. There was a controversy over the gay games name. There was a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was initially tried to be called the Gay Olympics, and that got kiboshed in 1982.
Yeah,
so they became gay games. They wanted to launch a winter gay games, but that collapsed. So I think it's only like a summer thing.
Why would the winter one collapse?
I don't know.
What's wrong with the winter? No, you can't play hockey.
Due to lack of sufficient funding and logistical problems. That was in 1986.
I mean, I'm sure
there have been no subsequent attempts to launch a gay winter games. Since although Whistler, British Columbia hosts an annual gay winter sports festival. So shout out Whistler, BC for doing your part for the gay community, making it a dual seasoned event.
I mean, I love the summer, but it's weird. I like summer more than winter, but obviously. The Winter Olympics, I do like a little bit. Yeah, Winter Olympics are pretty intense. I gotta say.
Yeah. What's your go-to event for the Winter Olympics?
Snowboarding. They're all intense. I was just watching cross country skiing.
Yeah,
and it was awesome. They're just going, but the hardest thing. And then
the 30K ones where they're hiking up the mountain in skis.
Yeah. I said it to Joe. I'm like, if they, everyone always argues what the hardest sport is, and I don't think there is a hardest sport. It's incredibly hard to be a pro at anything. If there is one, cross country skiing is it. It's the most grueling thing I think you could put your body through.
Picture cross country running, but now you're doing it with big sticks on your legs
on skis.
Yeah.
in the snow, and it's really cold. Like, I'll take running any day. I hate running. I'll take running.
Yeah.
Speaking of skiing, I think Kelly and I are going skiing this weekend.
Okay.
Going to Blue Mountain.
Oh, Joe remembers that place.
Collingwood.
No. No, mine was Suicide. Wait, no. What is it?
No, you're at Blue.
Heron.
I thought you meant Blue Heron.
No, not Blue. Yeah, we're going on vacation to Blue Heron this weekend. Down the street. No, Blue Mountain up in Collingwood.
Nice.
We're going for a little getaway for the weekend.
That's nice.
All right.
I can't really ski, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. No,
I might end up like what happened to Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the greatest time.
Joe, what was that recovery time?
But a year. So, yeah.
Tell the listeners what happened.
Well, so we just went snowboarding at Blue Heron Hill. I wanted to go down one more time. I was like, oh, I'll use the toboggan. Just go on the toboggan, sit there, just like, oh, just go down the hill. There's a ramp at the bottom, which was clearly visible that we're just like dodging all day. Go down the hill, fly off the ramp, break my leg, femur, done.
The femur.
Yeah, it was.
Isn't that like the strongest bone in your body or something too?
I don't know if it's the
I heard that.
strongest. I know it's like the
Or
biggest.
longest? Yeah, biggest.
Or longest.
Maybe that's what it is, biggest.
I don't know. Well, I think your spine is like a bunch of bones. I don't know. Femur is a big thing.
That's like from your hip to your kneecap, right? Like your thigh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Good time. Out for a year, couldn't play soccer. Just
Was your leg just like this?
No, I was lying down. Like I didn't know I could still move it. I wasn't in pain, but probably because I was in shock. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I broke the old collarbone. That was a shock moment. I didn't feel anything.
Yeah. Playing football, right?
Yeah. I remember my mom, it was flag football, of course, too. Like not even like a real football game. Like it was just stupid. I break it, get tackled from behind, fall right flat on my shoulder, crack the clavicle.
Ran
the clavicle. So that stung. And my mom came to pick me up afterwards because I was like 15, couldn't drive yet. And I remember walking to the car and I was walking like this because this arm was just dead. It was like I didn't realize I was walking this way. And I'm trying to like walk stiff because my arm just like really, really hurts. And my mom's like, hey, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, my arm just kind of hurts. She's like, you're off balance. Like your arm's just like hanging down. I'm like, oh yeah, I hurt my shoulder. Go home, go to the hospital, broken clavicle, miss half soccer season. Yeah, flag football.
Nice.
Not fun. Fun, but not fun.
Yeah, we've all had our breaks. I had the one at the Charo game.
Yeah, big game.
Polonia. Oh yeah, huge.
That's the game that we won, didn't we?
2-1 win. Yeah.
Did we won or we tied?
We won that game.
No, we won.
We tied.
Mitch Hunter scored the winner.
Shout out Mitch Hunter, 90th minute, head ball off the corner kick.
Yeah. Remember, this is the game, I scored first, and it's the massive game we argue about who scored for Charo.
Shanduzi. I was goalie that game.
Okay.
I know who scored on it.
Yeah, no, Chandusi for sure scored. But no, did we tie that game?
No, but then Mitch Hunter
got hurt, and then Mitch Hunter rose.
Who else scored?
Like
Mitch Hunter scored off the corner, but who scored before him?
The guy in the next room.
No.
Yeah, I scored that game.
What was your goal?
When you chipped it over, like we did the 1-2,
flicked it over the goalie,
and you did the little like chip pass, 1-2 chip pass over the D, and I went and I like side footed it.
I think Mitch Hunter scored against Croatia off that corner.
Oh my gosh!
I'm telling you, man.
Anyone we play soccer with is gonna listen to this and be like, "These guys are talking about a game that happened 5 years ago." Great.
That was over 5 years ago, boys. That was like 7 years ago.
Oh yeah, it was.
But I remember I played goalie that game. I remember I had to because our goalie got red carded. I remember that game vividly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember it vividly because I broke my wrist.
And you scored before.
Yeah.
Shanduzi scored on me. And then Mitch Hunter, 90th minute, rose like a salmon and smacked it back of the net with his head. Boom, 90th minute.
Because I remember I was sitting on the bench and I got pumped, but I couldn't clap or anything because my hand was obviously in pain. But I remember maybe.
Hey, Joe, how about you go miss from the 2-yard line again?
Hey, that was a long time. It was raining. It was raining for a while. Not my fault.
I mean,
you missed.
Like a loser.
You should have passed. You should have passed it to me first because I was wide open instead of shooting. I had to get it from the goalie's rebound. That made it tough.
You can't blame the striker for trying to take a shot. Blame you for everything else that happened afterwards.
Not great.
Just to round up, we're going to end the podcast here. Probably nothing else to really talk about. Nottingham Forest, our boys, Sherwood Forest, Nottingham Forest, coming away 4-1 winners over Leicester City in the FA Cup, so they won't be repeating this season as FA Cup champions. Liverpool went through. Everton went through. Norwich beat Wolves. What? Norwich beat Wolves. Wow.
There you go.
So the fifth round is the next round to play in the FA Cup. Still got some big sides. Obviously, Chelsea's still there. Liverpool's still there. Man City, West Ham, Tottenham are the biggest ones there. Everton going against Boreham Wood, which is a gritty sounding team. Where's Boreham Wood from?
What a name.
I hit their table on the Google machine here. I hit table settings and it doesn't even show up. So they don't have any standings.
Boreham Wood, that's amazing.
Boreham Wood. They play in the fifth. Oh my God, the fifth in Conference Premier Division, whatever that means. Wrexham, is that who?
Conference. Oh man, yes. We got teams like Chesterfield, Stockport at the top of the table. They don't even have a crest on Google. Wow. FC Halifax Town. Oh boy.
Bromley.
23
Grimsby Town.
23 teams.
Can you get relegated?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can. This might be like the entry level into the FA Cup teams bracket. I don't know how you want to say it. Like, this might be like the lowest division that can get into the FA Cup that I've ever seen. Fifth in the Conference Premier. I don't know what Conference Premier is.
Yeah, it's just looking at the table right now. You got teams like Aldershot Town, Ultracham, Dover Athletic sitting at the bottom. I think this is the lowest you can get because the promotion of winning the National League is the English Football League, League 2. And then after that would be EFL League 1. And then after that is the Championship and then the Premier League. So this side is this league has seen some stuff. Yeah.
I mean, when you're playing against sides like Grimsby Town and Wrexham and, Halifax Town and Aldershot, I mean, these are some gritty ass teams, gritty ass towns. I mean, a stadium size of like 450 people.
Yeah. Which
would be raucous. Could you imagine that?
That'd be amazing.
Imagine being a team that's like, I think Wrexham here is 45, or not Wrexham, sorry. Boreham Wood. I just saw it's 4,500 for their stadium capacity. And then you go to like Anfield or something. Or like you go to it won't be Old Trafford this season, obviously, for Middlesbrough reasons. But you go to a side like, Man City at the Etihad, from going from 4,500 fans that you're playing back at home to the Etihad. Amazing. Like you get to tell your grandkids that you did that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder, I don't even know how you could watch a game, but I wonder what the football's like watching these teams play.
Do you really want to know?
That'd be amazing.
So they're actually going to play their match against Everton March the 2nd at Goodison Park, which it's no Etihad, but Goodison Park will obviously have a pretty raucous crowd. 40,000 people seat capacity there. So I mean, what's that? 1,000% increase from what the regular capacity is? 10,000%? I don't know. Math.
Yeah.
Hopefully Lampard pulls out a better result against Boreham. What they called? Boreham Wood?
Boreham Wood hand.
Than he did today against Newcastle. But as far as the Premier League goes, like we said, it kind of kicked off a couple days ago. Who played a couple days ago? There was one match, I believe it was, like a makeup game. Burnley and Watford drawing 0-0. Completely uneventful match. That was the Saturday game on the 5th. Today, the 3 matches. Newcastle coming away victors. West Ham beating Watford 1-0. Keeping their European hopes alive. And then the draw of Burnley and Man United also took place today. Matches tomorrow. Norwich City, Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Southampton, Man City, Brentford, Aston Villa, and Leeds. And then Thursday, you got the big one of Liverpool and Leicester City. And then even Wolves and Arsenal is actually a pretty big game too.
Mm-hmm.
You see them in the standings. Arsenal in 6th, Wolves in 8th, only separated by 2 points. They play the same amount of games. So whoever wins this one will jump Tottenham unless they pull out a positive result and get into 6th place. Or if Arsenal wins, they'll actually be tied for 5th with United with less games played. So they would actually probably take the 5th spot and leapfrog United and get back into their European places until their next match.
Mm-hmm.
Burnley, man, trying to make up games. They only got 20 played, and Chelsea still has 24. Tottenham's got 20 played. Leicester has 20 played. I mean, this season could come down to, like, obviously, title race. I think we're all pretty set in stone, saying that's pretty much gone. But this mid-table game, you could be in 15th place with 4 weeks left and play like 6 games still, and jump to like 9th or something.
It'll be interesting.
Like, that's obviously for us, we don't really care about those games. But like, if you're a side like Crystal Palace, you could play 5 games in the last 2-3 weeks and jump from 13th to top 10. And I'm not sure what the difference is in money, but that's a significant increase in whatever you're gonna end up with at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. The season closes out.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we covered plenty.
Any more from you, Santi? Any more?
No,
side
that's
topics
it.
To get into.
We'll see. We'll see what comes up next week. See if I find the cure for cancer next.
Hey,
somewhere hiding in Brazil or something.
Yeah, don't keep it to yourself. Let the people know.
It's probably just already on some like forum on Reddit. Just gotta Google enough.
Yeah, hit up Google again.
Yeah,
just don't shut the internet down anytime soon.
Yeah, Google, don't shut down the internet before our next pod.
Don't do that, please. All right, I want to thank everyone for watching. Like I said before, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Search Footy Fans. Fans spelled PHANS. Again, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Even on our podcast platforms, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts at, leave a 5-star like, leave a little review, leave a little comment if you like what we're doing, don't like what we're doing. If you like the rays on Santo's face there and the light that's shining on him, if you like that, give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, gotta shine off Rocco's face here and my British book here.
There you go. Yeah, put a little shine on it.
There you go.
Yeah, leave a comment. We'd like to hear from you, of course. And also, you can email us too. It's footyfanpod@gmail.com. Give us an email. We'll maybe drop you another suggestion on there. We'll get back to you with any questions, and maybe we'll talk about it next episode. Right, boys?
Right, absolutely. Even if there's something you want to talk about, let us know, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we're easy going here. We'll talk about whatever we want. We're the pod of the people.
Pod of the people, he says.
Hey. So again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and we will talk next week after all the week's action.
See you, everyone.